optimization should happen only at the end of the development cycle. And by optimization here, we are of course talking about, let's say, making the game run on a stable frame rate on the target hardware.
Yeah. I would say that the answer, if you ask me, that the answer will depend on who do I speak with. So to some people, I will say yes. To some people, I will say no, because it depends on what their tendency is. So there are people who focus on optimizing on the go. And I was like that, by the way. I was kind of obsessed with optimization, over-obsessed, because I come from C++ background, assembly background, so have been dealing with super low latency projects. So I'm pretty good in optimization, and I have had it as a habit to just optimize everything on the go. But then the problem is that you tend to remake and throw away so much of your code, of your early code. So you optimize trash pretty much. It's like opening your garbage bin and just starting to clean your trash inside the garbage bin. It's a waste of time, right? So with that being said, though, the further forward you go with your project, the less of the produced code is gonna statistically end up as trash. So then the further away you are from the starting point, the more sense it makes to optimize something, right? But then you also should ask yourself a question: is this code gonna be played? Like, is this actually a code that's gonna for sure end up on Steam, let's say? If yes, then okay, it makes more sense. But even then, what's better, releasing a mal-optimized game or just delaying the release because you keep on optimizing? Typically, the optimization doesn't matter so much. It matters much more to actually release it and get feedback that this game has potential, but it's just so laggy. It's so buggy. The frame rate is so trashy. I just can't play, but the game has potential. And you're like reading that and you're, thank you. Because now I have the data. Okay, now I know that if I spend time optimizing it, people will actually play it. Right? This is data. And if you do it in the early access, then okay, you don't ruin your launch, the real one. That's fine. Early access exists for that. So if we wouldn't have early access, that's a different story. But let's face it, that's the reality of today's world. We have early access. We need to iterate our developments in a smart way. So optimization, the hell with it.
So I have a slightly different take on it, where I would say you should not spend more time with optimization than you need, but you should be aware of the optimization from the start. So there is a huge difference between saying like, oh, don't worry about optimization, you will fix it all on the end. That's a terrible idea.
It's terrible.
You should absolutely be aware of what your few features and the things you do, what impact will they have on the performance of the game. If you are not aware of it, you are in deep trouble. But if you are aware of it and you are consciously moving the decision of fixing it because you know it will be maybe 5% extra time to fix it later than fix it now, that's a trade-off you are willing to make, and you are doing it because you know that's worth it. That's a very different than being like, don't optimize at all, don't think about it.
No, I agree with that. It's just the balance point. But at the same time, there's also the goal. So is your goal to actually release the game, or is your goal to learn? So if it's a project and if it's a learning project, for example, for our students that are listening to that. So if you are a newbie yet and you're thinking, should I be optimizing now or not? The answer is probably yes, you should be. And you should actually even try to optimize it pretty hard. Why? Just so you understand how optimization works. So then,
absolutely,
when you develop and you have to make a choice on how you develop, like, let's say if you make an art piece and you should choose if you will go to this artistic direction or to this artistic direction, you will actually know to choose better because you know what's better for optimization. because you've already gone through that. Same with code. If you write code which is gonna affect your FPS more or less, you'll be more aware of what actually affects that if you try to optimize it. So get yourself through that at least a few times so you get a better sense. So now you are kind of, search for the shrooms and you'll be much better in finding them naturally, just organically.
Yeah.
So I think we both have that's right.
Yes. And by you being aware of what causes the impact, you will kind of automatically adjust your process. So you create less of the actual issues.
Without even the trade-offs. So sometimes, it's 5 hours development here, 5 hours here, but this is going to be a more optimal code. And if you're just mindlessly, I'll just pick out one that is just more comfy for me and whatever. Okay, cool. But it's the same time of development, and this one is more optimal, and you know it only because you have optimized a few times already, right? So just if you didn't ever do that now, before you proceed with your actual game that you're developing. If it's an educational educational game, do it. If it's a production game, a real game that you want to release, you will need it. You will save yourself headache. So again, do it.